So today we're going to go through and I'm going to show you how I organize for my signatures because I don't know about you, but I like to start with a base and then kind of add to it. Like if I have a certain paper I want to put in there or something like that. So yeah, and after doing 30 lives in 30 days and 30 journals in 30 days, my bin's a little empty. This used to be full. Now I have a divider. I made a divider. This is actually, let me show you my little divider for my little tub here. This is real fancy. It's the bottom of a box. I believe it was a nut box from Sam's Club, but or something like that. But I made it to fit in there so I can keep, excuse me, I have the envelope, like the big envelope ones. I've only used these once in a while. And that's why they're all folded in half, so I can fit 2 rows, and I'm already almost out of them. So, I have plenty of other stuff, but I want to use some new papers, and that's why we deconstructed a book yesterday, and we're going to fill this baby up. I took the last hour or so and just thoroughly cleaned off my desk. I didn't change the paper. Just because I know I'm going to get it dirty again, and this doesn't nearly have as many interesting spaces on it because I repurposed this paper. I cut out my stuff that I need, like if I do an experiment and I make notes right on the paper, I'll cut that part out, but it needs more interest. So if you joined us yesterday, I showed you how I deconstruct. I think I've been watching too many true crime videos. This is just a 4-inch paintbrush I got at the Dollar Tree. I use it as a desk broom. Works great. And there we go. Cleaned off. My floor is a mess, but that's okay. We'll come in with the broom after. But we deconstructed 3 books. So we've got 1 book, 2 book, and 3 book. I've got a table sitting next to me. So we got these 3 books. Now I'm going to grab I'm going to show you. I'm taking out my I have these bags. These are the bags that I store my books in. These are very expensive. These are like 6 or 7 mil plastic, maybe even 10. They're really heavy duty, but I've had these for, I don't know, a couple of years. And if you want a couple, just message me and let me know. And you pitch in for shipping, I'll just send you a couple bags so you can try them out, because they're like, for 100 is like 70 bucks. Excuse me. But it's cheaper than getting those zipper bags. Those are like $4 or $5 a piece. I do have a lot of those, but I keep, like when I get an idea for a project, I'll pull everything together, put it in one of those zipper bags, put it in the bin, and forget about it for a year. So that's what my goal is this month, or actually before the end of the year, to get all my unfinished projects finished. That includes acrylic pours and all the things. So I am busy. I spent the last 2 months organizing my studio just so I can hammer on it. So I will put like books together too. Like this is a proofreader book, so I'll probably put this in there because this is like a history of people. But we want to get a few more pages out of it first. So I think actually we should be good here. We've got some pages, and there's some pages here. Cool. We'll put this stack in this bag. So you can put quite a bit of stuff in there. The bottoms are not gusseted, so they don't hold a lot, but I've got 2 books in here and it's pretty good. I don't seal them closed because if there is mold, I don't want any mold growing in there. I don't have any desiccant packs right now. So it's one of the things that I need to get out of storage. So, and then sometimes when I have just like a bunch of random ones, like these 2 have just kind of random. This one's actually like book covers and stuff. And I think this one is just a book, a couple of books that are almost done. So I'm going to put these in here and just, and I usually label them, but I haven't reworked it in a while, and I'll probably just lay all these out, resort them, and then put a piece of tape on here, or you can use a Sharpie and label them what's inside the bag. That way when you're going to go look for your papers, you can. You can use hanging file folders. You can use, I have these folders, and I'll show you here. If you don't have a lot of book pages, you can use these folders. These are expanding file folders, so they have the sides and the bottoms all connected, and you can put your pages in there. The other thing that I have that I really like is I got these, inherited these. These are plastic, and I like these for my digitals, and like other like odd size things. And this Velcro keeps migrating. That's the only thing I don't like about these, is the Velcro comes off really easily when you have them really full. Probably shouldn't feel it that full, but hey, I'm always going to push my limits. But they come in different colors and shapes, sizes, so you can, you know, put whatever you want in them. And put that there, and then I'm going to grab that one and this one, and then we'll put these in this bag. Okay, and part of the reason why I'm doing this today is I have a bin underneath my desk and I keep kicking it and it's full of random pages. So we're going to take these out. These are accounting principles. There we go. We're going to align these. So I'm just going to stack these hither and thither. Oh, I can barely breathe this today. Yesterday I actually ended up napping for most of the day because my allergies were so bad. So I'm putting them hither and thither, and I'm going to put them right here. And we're going to get a bag for this later because I have another math book in there and I don't have anything labeled right now. So I'm going to show you this bin. So when I was doing the initial cleanup, oh, there's my math. I can put it right in there. Okay. Oh my goodness. So when I was doing my initial sweep, I put out bins, and Mikey came up and helped me. I'm like, dude, we're just going to sort stuff. I've got this big, huge pile that needs to get put away. We're just going to sort it out so that way I can put it away in chunks and not feel overwhelmed. So this was the bin that turned into the book pages. Anything book pages went in here. So it is random, and there are bags in here. And there's some, this is sheet music, dictionary pages. So we're going to pull out all these pages that are just kind of random in here. There's some map pages. This is Cheap Joe's art stuff. I use this for ideas. I leaf through ideas, and I'm a very, even though I'm I'm a hip to the digital age, I'm good with it. But I'm gonna be real. I like my old timey things. I like being able to tangibly have things in my hand. Okay, so this is a notepad. These are labels. These are holographic labels. Oh, they haven't even been printed on. These need to go in the pile for downstairs. There we go. That can go in that pile. That can go in that pile. Oh, what's in here? See, this is kind of like unearthing buried treasure. Oh, these are book pages that I would, this is for snippets. What's it called? A snippet roll. I don't know how you spell it. So there we go. You can write on this in Sharpie, and then when you're done, you take a dry erase marker and it'll come right off. So the key to getting organized is to know how you work. If you work like me, where I work on 4 different projects in a day, having all your base stuff together, like I have all my UV resin together. I have all my, all this other stuff together. I have all these book pages in one bin. I use a bin. I don't get all these bins because they're expensive and you drop them once and they're toast, especially if they're full. I get bussing bins, the Rubbermaid bussing bins. Don't get the cheap knockoffs from Amazon. You will regret it. Spend the extra, I think it's $7 to get the good ones. So, ooh, some of these have pretties on them. Oh, that's pretty. It's got a tear in it too. Okay, we're just gonna put that up over there. The other thing is, oh, this was a stamp. I have these stamps. This is a coloring day project. So put that over there too. I don't know what all this is. Oh, these are macaroni and cheese boxes. Okay, we're gonna put that over there because that one shouldn't have come in this bin. So know how you work and know, okay, this is how I need to have things flow. Set it up that way. And then in another 3 months, evaluate. Do you find yourself using your stamps more than you thought you did and you need to have them closer to you or more easily accessible? Excuse me. Had to get down and get the lid. So we're going to move this to the side, but we're going to put the lid back on him because we'll use that as a surface. Because what we're going to do, whoa, is knock more stuff over. There we go. My t-shirt got really, like, I feel like I'm wearing bell sleeves. I'm gonna move this garbage can, slide it over. There we go. So I'm gonna take these the actual like book sections, and I'm gonna put them over on the other side because we're gonna use mostly sheets today. I'm gonna move this chair out of my way, and I'm gonna go grab a sip of coffee because caffeine is a good thing. Give me one moment. Okay, we probably need to move the coffee off the floor though, because that's stacked precariously and I don't want it to knock over. The thing I realized is my fan is on high, so let me turn that down. There we go. Now, whew, okay. Another sip of coffee. That fan went right in my face. Hang on. Okay. The only thing I don't like about those plastic bags is they don't stack nicely. You have to put them in some kind of box or bin or something. Now, when I say box, bin, whatever, when I first started doing art and stuff, I took old boxes from the store, mainly the liquor store, because the liquor store has really nice boxes. I mean, they're glued because they have to hold merchandise, right? So I did that, and I would take duct tape, like a whole roll of silver duct tape, and wrap the box in duct tape, so that way it was a little bit water resistant. If it got damp on the bottom, it wouldn't instantly melt, right? And because I could afford a roll of duct tape, because a roll of duct tape back then was a cost of like 6 tubs, and I could get 8 tubs out of it, 8 boxes wrapped in duct tape. And yes, it took some time, but I had more time than money, and so that's what I did. The other thing that I did too is I made these boxes are scraps of scrapbook paper that I decoupaged onto the box. This used to be a box of spaghetti that I got at Sam's Club. I've got like 4 or 5 of these floating around. This is an old drawer pull, and that way when I have it on a shelf, I can grab it and pull it down. There's felt on the bottom, so it slides nicely on a solid shelf. And this is felt that I got a long time ago to cut out and put on the bottom of like tables, like end tables and stuff like that. Instead of buying the felt circles, I just bought some adhesive felt. So it was cheaper and it worked better because I could cut it to the size that I needed it. Okay, so and then you can use these instead of the envelopes. You can put all your book pages in here and have a box for each kind of book page. It depends on what kind of storage you need. Are you working on your kitchen table? Dining room table? Do you need to put it away every night? Do you need to have it look presentable? My studio is not presentable to the average person. Most people are like, holy shit, it's crowded in here. How do you find anything? It's chaos. And I'm like, ask me something. Quiz me. Where are your watercolors? Right there. Where are your brushes? Right there. Where is your favorite glue? Right there. So I know where everything's at, mostly. I still haven't found my coffee stencil. I think it might have fallen behind the table or something, maybe. Okay. So we got these. These are the Scantron. Stephanie's so awesome. She comes in with random stuff for me all the time, and I love her for it. These are the Scantron testing sheets. Excellent. They will go in a stack. So let's take, and we're just going to do random. We're not going to be like all trying to figure out what we're going to do here. So I can fit 4 big pages across my table right now. So we need to move this over here. So I want to have, boom. I want to have at least a couple more. Oof. Okay. So I'm kind of going to come in the middle of the stack. And pull out a sheet. There we go. Now we're going to take these big pieces and we're going to put them on my chair. And this is actually going into a different file. So, All right. That goes in a project file that I have going. I'm going to put these behind me, so I'm just going through the pile here on my chair and pulling out ones that aren't map. So that's the United States Atlas, World History Atlas. I'm going to set that right there. And so now I've got 6 piles going. And if I was on my big tables behind me, I would have probably 10. So this is kind of cool. I'm going to keep these 2 together. There. So I'm going to put these over here. This is 1985 edition. How's that for fun? Okay, so we're going to keep these together because they're kind of fun pages. And then we're going to take these bigger pages. These are really cool. Are they glued or are they stitched? These are stitched, so let's pull these apart. Maybe. So what I'm doing here, my hands are kind of shaky. Too much, oh, there's no such thing as too much caffeine. Who am I kidding? So I'm going to pull these out like this. Maybe I need to get my, let's get my seam ripper out because these are sewed together. Jeez, words are hard. Let's get the seam ripper out. Where are you, seam ripper? La 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 la. So you gotta sing to it because it likes to hide at the bottom of the bucket. See, this is my bucket. And all my Sharpie stuff goes, like sharp stuff goes in here. Laid down, of course. There he is. Thank you. And then he hangs on the side of my little bin that fits underneath my desk. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to, oop, I bumped the camera, sorry. All right. Put that out of the way. And I'm going to put both pages in one of the signature piles because if we're doing a big book, it'd be fantastic to have both these pages together. All right, is that the last page? Yes it is. So we're going to tear this. Oops. I say oops, it just didn't go the direction I wanted it to. There we go. And then we'll put these, we're just going to tear this piece off, put it in the bin, and we'll put these in the stack of loose leaf pages. Now these pages are too big to fit inside one of those bags. So I have a section of my tub that has the same cardboard divider that I showed you earlier. So we need 3 more pages. I thought I had the middle. So we're kind of finishing our deconstruction as we sort our signatures out. So now we'll have, what I'd like to do is do groups of 5 or 6. And then when I go to pull for a signature, for signatures, I know that there's 13 to 15 pages in each bundle. And I'll pull, like if I need 3 signatures, I'll pull 3 different bundles. and then I'll combine the bundles and spread them out through the 3 signatures. If I need 5 signatures, I'll pull 5 of each bundle, you know. And that way I can come up with different signatures using the same or similar book pages without having to do this for every book, you know. So now I have 6 signatures started, and or 7. We're gonna do 7. Actually, I usually do 10, so this is really kind of awkward for me. I'm like 10, 10, 10 in my head. Okay, let's pull this one. There we go. Brazil. Because we can fit 3 on this table. There we go. So I have a table to the side over here, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And let's do, this is how how molecules behave, polarity, hydrogen bonds, and solubility. Nerdy stuff. Gotta love it. Okay. So, yeah, these ones pull apart. So we're just gonna pull these apart. So we already have 4 pages in these, or 4 sheets, I should say. Come on, come on. Sometimes I don't want to tear. There we go. I'll put this back in that pile. Okay, so I have 1 pile that I'm going through and pulling from, and 1 pile, and then I have 7 piles on my desk. So this one can go in that pile, and we're going to see what we can come up with. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3. This is from the recipe book. So we'll put that there for a second. So this is how I kind of do things. So I find things that are larger and put them all together. And then we'll do a group of smaller ones. And then when we go to build our signatures here in a moment, we can just pull from what we got here. What is this? This goes here. I was hoping to find more of those green pages. Oh wait, we're looking for that, but I don't think we're going to find it. So as I'm going through this, I'm kind of sorting them out. And sorting them by size. And like I know this book that I got, these pages are super fragile. Like you look at them funny and they rip. So this book has now become mostly collage fodder. Unless I can tape it up real good. So is that about the same size as that one? Yeah, let's use this one. Oh, that has some really cool numbers on it. So they're about the same size, so I'm going to put these on the other ones. This is a map, so put that on that pile. Oh, I got tissue paper in here. This doesn't belong in here. That goes there. And see, there's some book pages in here that are actually like scrap pages that got coffee dyed. So I'm going to try not to use this cookbook one because I used it for almost all the other ones before. And this is going to go over here. So yeah, it's just a matter of like figuring out how you work, what's going to work best for you. What kind of journals do you normally make? Do you make big ones, small ones? You're all over the board. Because the cool thing about these pages is they can be cut down. They can be, folded. And are you one of those people that have to have everything directional? There are people out there that have to have everything go in the same direction. I am not one of those people. Okay. We have more coffee dyed paper. Oh, we have our little sentiments for Christmas. So I'm going to put this in my coffee dyed paper pile. That's right here. Okay, more of the cookbook. Okay, we're going to put that in that pile. Some of them have been coffee stained, but that's okay. We'll just leave them all together. We'll put that up in that pile. And then we have more atlas. So we're going to put that in the atlas pile. And now we can start, excuse me, stacking on the atlas pile and have them go hither and thither. Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. Why did you fall? All right, so we're going to take, I found a, okay, so this is all, yeah, we do this. This is on stage lighting. Okay, why are these two different sizes? I must have two different gardening books. I do. Professional design philosophy. Yeah, stage lighting. Okay, so this one will go over here. I'm going to take this with us. There we go. Now we're going to do the boating one. We're just going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so these are all the boating ones. So I'll make them into a nice stack here and put them on the chair hither thither. Okay, how many pages do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 pages. Let's do the gardening ones. Do I have 6 that are 2 together? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 that are 2 together. Let's see what else we can find here. Those are books that need to go downstairs because they need to be scanned. So they're going to go in the pile by the door because I have a basket that of stuff that comes up. Like whenever I make pasta or something like that, I put it in this. I have a basket. And then when I come up, I grab the basket and put it away. Whew. Okay. So I'm trying to find, excuse me, more of this gardening book. Is this the same book? This one isn't a full page, but it's okay. We can make it work. And I keep knocking these Scantron things off. So I'm going to move them. And while I'm over here, I'm going to get a drink of coffee. Much better. Okay. Now, found more atlas pages. They're just floating around in the tub here. Let's see. That's a boating book. Well, it doesn't look like I have what I need to have. That doesn't go there. Let's see. So we're going to skip that one. And we're going to grab this one. Oh no, this is that book that we just put in there. Never mind. And those are all small pages, more boating pages. That's the... Well, maybe we have to use the cookbook pages because that's... Well, that's a bummer. Well, you know what we can do? We can take these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll do this. 1. Oh wait, there's 2 pages in here. Oh, okay, there we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll take these cookbook pages. We'll do 2 in each one. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. And these can go with the rest of them. All right. I'm going through my book right now. That's what I was looking for. Okay, I knew I had another big book in there. This is on stage makeup. And I think there's still some grouped together here. So, 1, 2, and I need my sort quick. If you don't have some of this stuff, get some. It's expensive, but the stuff lasts forever. I got it at Walmart. I think it was 3 of them were $6, but saves you from licking your fingers. And when you're working in a studio with books, you don't necessarily want to be licking your fingers. Okay, so those 2, and those 2. Is that? Those are fun pages. Okay, so those 2. And these 2. And we need 2 more. And I usually go for scripted, like pages with script on them, but sometimes if they have interesting pictures on them, like that's a very interesting picture, I kind of get excited about it. All right, let's do our count, see where we're at. One, So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 works for me. So these are big pages. So what we're going to do is grab the big clips. That goes down here. Why is it up here? Okay. I'm organizing as I go. I've got a tray of paper clips. Oh, that goes with my scissor. And we're just going to take some paper clips. And I kind of have a color code system. Actually, we need 3 more pages because I want to have 13 in each. I don't know what I'm thinking. This is what I wanted. I think. Yeah, let's see which one's bigger. These are both very big. So let's use these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't need these 2. Okay. I'm going to do 2 pages. And if I remember correctly, these were glued. Yeah, these are glued. So we're just going to do 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, like that. Lummox. That's awesome. Sorry. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, big lummox. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Matrimony. Not a word. Not a word. No comment. All right, we're going to put this up here so we know a year to use it in these sections. And if I remember correctly, these are stitched. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Excuse me. Now we have 14 in there, which is over 13, so that works for me. I'm going to take these and paper clip them together like that. Excuse me. Now, what do I do when I have a bunch of just random ones? I just put them all in a pile and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just lay out one of each. I try to make them like similar sizes together so they're not completely wonky. So 2 of these are going to get, what I normally do is I stack them all up together like this, and then I put a binder clip and then they go in my bin. But because we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to need these 5 for our journal that we're working on this week. That leaves us 2 to put in our bin. So when you have everything out, make as many as you can. And, oh, there they are. Couldn't see them in all the color. So we'll take 2 of these. And I will spend like an afternoon just doing this, like, because it's kind of fun. It's like, oh, what do I have? You know, what kind of mysteries can I solve today? And I just crank some music or listen to a podcast, Rafi and Klee. What's that called? Critical Role. You know, just some kind of something that's fun. So because these 2 are together, they're similar ones. We're going to put them together like that. And then I'll throw them in there, and when I need a signature, you know, I'll pull out what I need. So those go in that bin. Let's do one more. So let's move these over here. And these ones for the smaller pages are kind of easier to do. Where do I want to put these so I don't lose them in the shuffle? I'll put them right here. That way they won't hopefully fall. There, and I'll know where they're at. So let's take some smaller book pages. Now these are dictionary pages that I stacked all together. So I just have to open them up. So because these are smaller pages, we can do more on the table, hopefully. 1, 2, sort quick. 3, 4, 5, 6, 'll move this over here. 7, 8, 9. I think I can get like 10 or, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can do one more. That way I have a space to work. So when I tore this dictionary apart, I laid out all the pages that were good, like nice, and I just binder clipped them together. That way when I go to make a journal, I have them all ready to go. So we got this one. Now we can put these pages in there too. So that's a single page. Let's do double pages. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this one needs to get torn apart a little bit. That's why I kept my seam ripper out. So I'm just taking the seam ripper and pulling the threads up. If there is any. Apparently this got ripped through. That's okay. It's okay, we can work with it. Need one more. There we go. I'll pull these two apart. There we go. And put these back in this pile. And we're just going to take one page of this. Now the other thing we can do too is you can take your cutter, knife or something, and cut all that off. Like if they're glued together, you can just, it makes it go a lot faster. I'm going to fold this in half and put it on my decal cutter. There we go. There. I'll just unfold it and put it down. Decal cutter's small and easy, so that's why I grabbed it instead of big fanny. So you can take, here, I'll take big fanny and we'll do that. I'll show you how you can make this go faster. Instead of standing here ripping at each individual page, you just take your knife and your ruler and cut off the edge, or if you have a Fiskars cutter like this, you can do it all in one fair swoop. There we go. So put fanny back. And we were there. So now all we have to do is finish putting them down. Okay, that's that one. All right, what do we got? Let's do, are these sewn together? I'm trying to see. Yes, they are. So, quick way to do this, sometimes if they're sewn together, is hold one side, pull with the other, and then just use your seam ripper like you're ripping out a seam that you messed up on. That's why my seam ripper is purple, because I'm happy to see purple. Usually I'm not happy to see the seam ripper. Okay, so we got some smaller pages here. Maybe, yeah. So quick. Again, we're going to have to separate the signatures. So I just find, hopefully I didn't bump the camera. I bumped the cord for the camera. So we're going to separate these like that. So hold with one hand. There we go. Find the middle. This one I Actually, I'll put that back here. Now, this was a Lutheran hymnal that I found at a garage sale. The thing was so beat up, there was no rescuing it. And I don't know why people are so hard on stuff that belongs to the church. They're paying for it, you know, they donate to it. You know, it's like, you just want to buy new hymnals in 5 years? Be nice to your hymnals, dude. Like, this thing was like, it had coffee spilled on it. It was rough. Poor thing. I felt bad, but it's like, okay, we're going to give you new purpose and new life, and share your joy that you carry within you for some people, you know, to other people. And I felt like I was rescuing it from eternal doom in a landfill. Because that's where it was going. And that makes me sad. I'm not Christian, but it still makes me sad. Okay, so let's do this. Put all this. This goes in the music and math one. But we need to put it there. And those go there. All right, let's do, I can't remember if these pages were tough enough. I think this is another one that is destined for the collage pile. Okay, so we're just gonna 1, 2, 3. Let's go over here. God bless America. It's a foldy. I think this needs to go in that pile. Again, we have some that are glued together, so we're going to take our decal cutter. There we go. Bob's your uncle. Actually, I don't have an Uncle Bob. So he's not my uncle. So this is the fun part for me, is just putting random pages down and not really worrying about matching them. Here we have another one that needs to be cut. So that's why these probably got stuck away, is because they're all ones that need to be cut. And when I'm in the middle of it, I just toss them to the side. But we're just gonna decal cut them. And these I actually put in the garbage because this glue is really hard to get to remelt down, so it doesn't do any good to put it in my paper bin. Glossary of literary terms. Can you tell I'm a nerd? I like the nerdy stuff, like how to build things, how to grow things. Excuse me, glossaries and terminologies. Okay, there we go. How many pages are in here? There's not a lot of pages in here. Yeah, there's only 4. So put that back in that pile. Let's grab this pile. All right, that's going in another project. Where'd my other project file go? There we go. These are coffee dyed papers. These are going downstairs. And I think, do we already have a dictionary page? But there's a big dictionary page. That's the book from the French guy. So put that in that pile. Yeah, see, this one's the one that got ripped. Oh, but there's mushrooms on that page. So we're going to put that over there. And we're going to cut the rest of this. I was getting a little mad because they weren't ripping apart. There we go. We're going to cut this. And we're just going to put another little dictionary page in there. I'm going to cut it right there. This one. There we go. I think I keep missing the garbage over there. I'm just like throwing it in the general vicinity that it needs to be. There we go. And then this one doesn't, this one still needs to get cut. Try and do it as straight as we can. Okay. There we go. That right there. Is that the same? Yes. All right, after we lay these down, we're going to see where we're at for pages. There we go. Put that in that pile. Let's see where we're at. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need 4 more pages at least. I'm going to move these because these are big pages. Let's bring out some maths. So this is probably the most difficult book I've ever taken apart, but it turned out really cool, so I'm grateful that I took the time to do it. It was sewn along here, glued here, and it was probably, like I said, the most difficult book I've ever had. And the binding was like super thick. I'm grateful I didn't hurt myself doing it. So I was very careful, minded my P's and Q's. Well, blades and other such cutting utensils. There was a time last summer where I was really in a dark place, and I'm like, okay, I got to get myself out of this. How do I get myself out of this? And so I worked on books and, you know, kind of basic things. Okay, that's from that Do I have any more of that math book? There should be more in here. Yes, right here. Let's open this one up because we only need one more page. All right, this is going to go back in here. All right. Is this the one that we just did? I think so. Yes, it is. Okay, let's pull. Let's pull these out. I think I have enough here to do. I don't know, we'll see. Let's see, are these? That's not double page. So we'll just put 2 down. That's kind of fun. Printed in the United States of America, but doesn't have. I'm going to keep that one because I kind of like that one. That one's going to go in a special one. Now I should have 14. Okay, let's put these 2. Excuse me. The Princess Bob and Her Friends. Okie dokie. The Fool of 5 Forks. It's like the stories that they used to publish, you know, back in the day. It's kind of fun to read them. You know what? What's this? Yeah, these are ones that are destined for collage fodder too. Okay. And then, you know what? We have this book that we haven't put in anything yet. So I'll probably have 15 pages in here. So we have all of these. Let's put these in there. And then we'll be done. Now you can do this with art pages, like ones that you've decorated with spray stains and paint and, you know, splatters and whatnot and what have you. There we go. I'm actually going to put these in a binder clip because they're kind of slippery. They're going to fall down if I try and just put them in a stack. Okay. So we dug a little deeper. We used pages that we didn't use before. So now I'm going to stack these up. So let's pull out some paper clips. The silver paper clips is what I use for the art pages, and then the colored paper clips are what I use for book pages. And if they're a combination of the two, which I don't normally do, but sometimes the move hits me and I wanna. So we got these, and I need to coffee dye some paper, and I'm going to do that later this afternoon. Depending on how hot it is, I might just take it outside and do it out there. Hot and windy, depending on how hot and windy it is. I'm not really paying attention to right side up and upside down and all that, because these are just going to get pulled apart anyway, and we can sort them out how we want to for each signature. So, how many do we got over here? 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more. And these will go in our journal that we're making this week. And the other ones will be put in our bin. There we go. We'll put these up with the other ones. So we need, excuse me, 3 more bunches. At least. So, because we got 5 stacks of 13 or 15 here, 5 stacks of 15. So then I just kind of distribute them between 5 stacks. I like put this here and put that there, and then each signature is kind of the same, but different. So it flow. I don't know. It's the flow of the book. And this is a bigger book, so that's why I did the bigger pages instead of doing art pages. But you do the same thing. Excuse me. So, like I said, I need to coffee stain some papers. And we'll put, I'll pull out some line pages. We'll put some line pages in these. And this way, all you have to do since you already have all your papers out and you're doing this anyway, you might as well make up more than you need. And that way, you can pick and choose and just kind of go with the flow. You know, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. And if you have too many pages, put those in a file. And then when you do this again, then you can just take the pile, sort out sizes. You know, this is big, this is medium, and this is small. And then you just randomly plot out, you know, signatures from that. And you get, by the end of the day, you know, by the end of all your signature sorting, you get some really cool mixtures, you know. I'm not one that has a theme usually. I just kind of go with what's in my head. So now I have all these signatures ready to go. So when I'm making the journal next week, I can just pull out signatures from this. I need one more clothespin, one more paper clip, and then we'll take all of these. And do I have a big enough binder clip? Not in that bin. Hang on one second. Well, that was harder to find than I thought it was going to be. Where are all my big babe binder clips? Oh, you know what? I know where they're at. This is what I get for getting organized. Oh, yeah. Maybe they're in here. Yep, they are. See, this is where I keep all my binder clips normally, but the box was getting too full, so I had to sort them out. Because every time I go to Dollar Tree, I grab a box of binder clips because I always seem to lose them. And it's very frustrating. So, maybe. There we go. There's our second stack. Now you do this with line pages. You do this with coffee date pages. You do this with, what are they called? Like stenciled pages or what, you know, you just, what I do is I do my coffee dyed, eco dyed, whatever, and my art pages at the same time, and I just kind of randomly put them in. So that way, like, that way you get a mixture of color and different textures and different things in your papers, and then you have a stack of that. But I need to make more because last month wiped me out. So let's work a little on our journal here. So this bin is supposed to go in here, but it doesn't fit because I got all this and I need to organize this. Yeah, it's a never-ending battle. So I wonder though if it would fit underneath. Does it fit? Does it fit? It does. That's a grand idea. Okay. So since we were talking signatures today, and we have a little bit of time left. Whew. It is warm up here. I'll put that back over there. Let's see. I'm going to put this here. I'm trying to find all the stuff that I had pulled out for that. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Let's go grab our spines, and we're going to figure out where our holes are going to go. And hopefully they're dry. They've been stacked underneath a book and a bin and anything else I could think that was heavy because I want them to dry flat. Okay, now there's our inner and there's our outer. Let me grab a sip of coffee here. Okay, let's put the Sort Quick away so it doesn't dry out. It takes forever for this stuff to dry out, let me tell you. Feels weird sitting down. I've been standing up this whole time. All right, I'm gonna grab my blue board. And we're gonna line this up with, so it should be 9 1/4, which it is because I brought it to the 1, so that's 9 inches and 1/4. And we need a pencil. So part of sorting your signatures is sorting out your spine And I want 5 signatures on here. So this is 3 inches wide. So we're going to make a line. And no one's going to see this. So we can make as many lines as we can want. Right? Yeah, that's, well, that doesn't look like half. 1.5. No, that's half. Just doesn't look like it. Yep, that's half. And then half of the half, because, oh wait. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to do half inch, half inch. Yep. So we'll line it up here. I'm going to line it up there. And there. Oh, oh. Sometimes the cork on the back of this ruler is great, and sometimes it's kind of a pain in the butt. Oop, finger got in the way. Okay. Make sure we're still lined up here. There we go. And half inch. All right, so we have a line up and down for each one of our signatures. And then we're going to come 1 inch from the top. So that's 1 1/4. And that's 1 inch. And 1 inch from the bottom. You can do whatever adjustments you want to make for your journal that you're making. Because I'm going to be using varying sizes of pages, I want to have it as far up without making it look wonky. And then this is 9 1/4, so that's 4 1/2. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and a half. We'll see how this looks. Here we go. There we go. I don't really like that. I think it should be up a little bit. So let's just erase these. That way I know which line I want to go with. I think I want it up a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's do 6. Well, this is 6 because I have it up 1. Let's do it right here. Maybe I did it on the wrong one. No, I didn't. I don't think I did. All right. There we go. I like that better. I'd like to have it wider at the bottom than at the top. That's just me. That's like my little design aesthetic. So let's move this over. I think this has been the cleanest that my desk has been since I changed my paper. It won't take long for it to get destroyed. Okay, so we're going to do 1/8 of an inch with the crocodile here. And I'm going to make sure this hole is clear. So I want to find my bead reamer. That is over here, maybe? No, it should be in my cup. Here it is. Excuse me. Make sure this hole is clear. There we go. Okay, all clear. Now I get to get up close and personal with it. Let's pull my hair out of my face again. I've been trying to do high ponytails and I have all these baby hairs that like to fall down and poke me in the eye because they're long enough to poke me in the eye but not long enough to stay in the ponytail. So let's readjust the ponytail real quick because when you're trying to focus, it really sucks that your hair goes in your eye. All right, give me 1 moment. I'm going to grab a sip of coffee. Maybe that'll help calm my nerves because I really don't want to make another one of these. Okay. Here goes nothing. Don't mess it up. So what I'm doing is I'm punching a hole where the cross sections are. And I like to start at the front. And this microphone is going to make me really up close and personal. Okay, you know what? I'm shaking too much to do this. Hang on. You know what? I got an idea. Give me an idea. Give me an idea. Give me. That should work. Ha. There, now I won't shake so much. Because I don't want to screw this up. So because of the glare of the lights, I can't see because there's a huge shadow down here. And you know what? No one's going to see this anyway. Like, if it's like off a little bit because this is a hidden spine. But, you know, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it right? First row done. Okay. Oh, I see. I almost made a mistake. I almost went to the second line there. But because I erased the in-betweens, and I love this punch, because I don't have to use a lot of hand strength because it has a lot of, I think it's called torque, I think is the correct term for it. I'm not sure though. Okay, so I'm punching all the holes because we're going to put fabric on this side. Possibly. I just want all the holes punched because I want to know if I mess this up, if I have to make another one. This is kind of me keeping Murphy at bay. And this is a 3-inch spine. So it's 3 inches by 9 1/4. And we have our 5 signatures punched in, 1/2 inch in between each one. This is going to be a chunky monkey, and that's the way I want it to be. So you could put hole reinforcements on all of these, but this is 3 plies of chipboard, so it's not really necessary because we're going to be gluing fabric to this. So yeah, but it's also easier to just punch through the fabric than it is to punch through 2 layers of chip or 3 layers of chipboard and fabric. So, and I wanted to make sure that I did it right, and it looks pretty good to me. That's the top. So, and then this is going to go behind it like that. Yes, center this up. And then that'll be the front of the spine, so all the stitching will be hidden. And then this will be the journal. So, spine is done. Signatures are almost done. I gotta copy stain some paper. I've got some art pages, some new art pages to use, some old art pages to use. As I've been going through things, I've been finding things. So this one will have some pages in it that I did like 3 years ago, which will be really cool. And I'm excited for that because I really want to use up all the things that I have. I want to wrap things up for 2025 by the end of 2025. So I can start 2026 with a fresh start and just keep moving forward and hopefully get things the way where I want them to be. I have a plan of attack, and in 2026, the plan of attack unfurls. So you don't want to miss that. So make sure you subscribe because I'm going to continue doing live streams. I don't know about every day, but definitely Monday and Wednesday nights. And we're going to just keep moving forward. So, because that's what life's all about, right? Is learning, growing, and keep moving forward. So, thank you for joining me today. You out there, I appreciate you. Remember, be kind to one another. Peace, love, and happiness.